The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Jimbo and Bond take flight. 80s dreams are its delight. In the realm of black and white, movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
Don't you wish you were Arthur?
Would the more attractive of you please step forward?
Gonna cost you $100.
Let's make it $200, but I will ask you to simonize my car.
How rich are you?
I wish I had a dime for every dime I have.
Anticipating your condition, I brought you orange juice, coffee, and aspirins. Or do you need to throw up?
Kiss your wife like that?
I'm not married.
Keep smiling. 688-5549.
Usually one must go to a bowling alley to meet a woman of your stature.
I take it this bum will be calling you.
Dad, he's a millionaire.
You have my permission to marry him. Are you a hooker? I forgot. I just thought I was doing great with you.
Will you take my hand?
That would leave you with one. I'm gonna take my coat.
You don't have a coat.
Well, I'm gonna take my tie.
You're a rich one. How does it feel to have all that money?
It feels great.
A dumb question.
What's so funny now?
I sometimes just think funny things.
What do you do for a living?
I race cars, I play tennis, I fondle women, but I have weekends off and I am my own boss.
Dudley Moore is Arthur.
Do you wish you were me? I know I do.
Don't you wish you were Arthur? Arthur, the most fun money can buy. An Orion Pictures release through Warner Brothers.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo, and I'm joined once again by my co-host.
Hey, this is Bond in Texas.
Bond!
This is a great, oh my gosh, how hilarious was that trailer?
This is why I rarely ever let you or even Kyle or anybody pick movies, because we come to a movie like this.
We shake it up. Yes, we shake it up.
You know, I had never watched this movie. I knew who Dudley Moore was, but the song's fantastic in this movie. I remember the song. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I just wish the movie was as good as the song.
Oh, come on, man. We're talking about Arthur, 1981 American romantic comedy. I mean, it's great. What are you talking about?
You know, I want to ask the audience something. Did anybody else find his laugh annoying right there just in the trailer? You take that by about 20, and that's what you get for the first 10 minutes of the movie. True.
The first drunk scene is very long.
It takes forever.
His laughter is, oh man, his laughter is hardcore. Hey, let's break this movie down a bit and then we'll get into it. This movie, Arthur, 1981 film, is directed by Steve Gordon. Now, here's something interesting, Jimbo. Steve Gordon, he only did one other movie. It's called The One and Only with Henry Winkler. He died at age 44 of a heart attack. In fact, he died in 1982, the year after this movie came out.
Wow.
Yeah, so this was the only movie he actually directed, but by himself. But yeah, he died a year later from a heart attack. It was written by Steve Gordon, so he wrote it and directed it. Produced by Robert Greenhut. This movie's edited by Susan Morse. The music, come on. The music by Burt Bacharach. And Burt Bacharach, he is in the Austin Powers movie. He has got 52 top 40 hits, including Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
A good song.
Close to You by the Carpenters. And That's What Friends Are For by Dionne Warwick. He was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. He actually won an Academy Award for this song by Christopher Cross, The Best That You Can Do, Arthur's theme. Which, come on, that was probably, like you said, one of the best parts of the movie.
Well, Bond, so Arthur's theme, it was co-written by Christopher Cross, Burt Bacharach, Carol Bayer Sager, and Peter Allen, who was Liza Minnelli's ex-husband at the time. But Allen's only contribution to the song was its famous chorus lyric, "When you get caught between the moon and New York City, the best that you can do is fall in love." He came up with that line.
The part that everybody knows.
He came up with that line while sitting on an airplane that was stuck in a holding pattern over New York City at night, waiting to land at good old JFK International Airport. Despite his minimal contribution, the other 3 songwriters insisted that Allen receive songwriting credit. He ended up winning an Academy Award for the best song just for the small but a very important contribution. So
I love it, man.
Maximum effort.
Hey, you get what you get, right?
Yeah.
This movie came out July 17th, 1981. It's got a running time of 97 minutes, right? The budget for this movie was $7 million in 1981. Translates to about $25 million today. Big hit. Big hit. This movie did $95 million at the box office.
Really?
Made for 7, did 95. That's about $345 million today. So it's a huge hit. In fact, Jimbo, it is the 4th largest grossing movie, highest grossing movie of 1981. Can you name the top 3?
1981. So that rules out Empire Strikes Back because that was 1980. Let's go with Superman 2.
Superman 2 was the number 3 movie of that year. Good job.
Let's go with, man, you put me on the spot here, Bond. 81. I don't think...
You'll know the number 1 movie, but you probably won't know the number 2 movie.
I don't think E.T. came out yet, did it?
No, I think E.T. was 83.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I'm struggling here.
The number 2 movie of 1981 was On Golden Pond.
That's a great movie. Have you ever seen it?
It's a great one.
We need to cover
Katharine
that.
Hepburn,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Beautiful movie. It did not... Oh, it did beat out Stripes, which was the number 5 movie. But the number 1 movie of 1981 was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I was thinking of my trilogies in my head.
Raiders of the Lost Ark by far was like the big movie of 1981. Arthur's got some stars in it. He puts a question mark next to the word stars.
Who's he? You?
Yes. It stars Dudley Moore as Arthur Bach. Dudley Moore was in the movie Foul Play. 10. He is the narrator in the Milo and Otis movie. And he is was in the movie Mickey and Maude. Interesting fact, Dudley Moore is only 5'2".
Mm-hmm. He's a short guy.
So he's a short guy. His love interest is Liza Minnelli as Linda. Linda was a famous song and dance girl. She was in the movie Cabaret, right? I think she's famous for that haircut, right? Her short black hair. It's got the legendary John Gielgud as Hobson.
Probably the best part of this movie.
He won an Academy Award.
Yes, exactly
Best supporting actor for this movie. So it is an Academy Award movie. Yeah, he won Best Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He was born in 1904. He was in a lot of Shakespearean plays. He was in the movie The Elephant Man, Chariots of Fire, those kind of things. It also stars Geraldine Fitzgerald as Martha Bach. I guess that's his grandmother, right? She's an Irish actress. She was in the movie Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield. And she also has a small role in Poltergeist 2. Mm-hmm. Jill Eikenberry as Susan. I guess that's the one he's supposed to marry. The one he's scheduled to marry to inherit
Susan
his money.
Was kind of hot.
Yeah, she actually was a regular on L.A. Law. She did like 89 episodes on L.A. Law. We have Stephen Elliott as Bert Johnson, her father. He was in Beverly Hills Cop. Ted Ross as Bitterman. Bitterman was the chauffeur driver.
Mm-hmm.
He was the lion in the movie The Wiz. Yeah. He was also had many roles on The Jeffersons, The Cosby Show. He was in a great movie called Fisher King. Did you ever see The Fisher King?
Yep.
It's a good one. One of my favorite characters was Linda's dad. Linda's dad, Ralph.
Yeah, he was great too.
He was played by Barney Martin. He was famous for playing Jerry Seinfeld's dad.
Yep.
On Seinfeld, right? And he's also in the famous movie called The Producers.
That's a great movie.
I love The Producers.
Great
We're going to have to
movie.
cover it if we haven't
Oh,
already.
we haven't?
It's a good one. Yeah, I think he's known for being Seinfeld's dad, Jerry's dad. It's pretty funny. There's a couple other people. There's another guy named Richard Hamilton that's in this. He plays Bill. He was in Pale Rider, Men in Black. He actually plays, in Men in Black, he plays Tommy Lee Jones' first partner. So when Tommy Lee Jones's first partner retires and they get Will Smith to take his place, Richard Hamilton plays his ex-partner that's ready to retire.
Huh.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's got Paul Gleason as one of the executives. He's in the movie The Breakfast Club. He plays like that principal jerk guy. He's in the movie Trading Places. He's in Die Hard. It's got Mark Margolis as one of the wedding guests. Totally uncredited wedding guest. But Mark was a regular on Breaking Bad and then later Better Call Saul, which I thought was pretty cool because he was a young man in this movie in 1981. But that's the cast. That's the cast, man. Later, I'll go over some of the people that were considered for some of the roles, but I think we should get into the movie, right?
Yeah, let's get into the movie. So, Bond, what would you say Arthur's about? A spoiled rich kid that's never had to work for anything in his life, and he is going to be forced to marry another well-known family's daughter in order to secure his fortune of, what was this?
$750 million.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, they're going to cut him off. Well, Arthur gets torn because he finds old Liza Minnelli. I forget what's her name in this movie. Linda. Yeah, he sees Linda stealing something at a department store, right?
Yeah.
And goes out and he basically covers for her. And I think it goes to show that he thinks she's just as crazy as he is at life, just carefree. And he ends up falling in love with her, but he knows he can't marry her or he's going to be cut off from the fortune. And throughout the whole movie, he's trying to figure out a way to tell his parents that I'm not marrying Susan. I want to marry Linda. And, it does have a good moral towards the end of the movie. I don't want to be too critical of this movie. It's got a good story. It's just that if you can survive that first 20 minutes, man, it gets a little bit better, right?
Well, it's a great message, right?
Right.
The basic message is love or money.
Right.
Right. Do you choose your true love or do you choose $750 million?
Right.
And that's $750 million, 1981 money.
Yeah.
So that's billions of dollars today.
Well, and let's think about it. Arthur has all this money and he's been trying to find love, and he's got all this money where he's trying to buy happiness because, he pulls up to those street women at the beginning of the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, get in. Which the prettier of you two, get in, I think he's looking for somebody to love, and it's just hard for him to come by, and he's always drunk.
Yeah. I love that scene because he looks at the prostitute he doesn't choose. He's like, don't be upset. You came in second. Or you got second place.
So, yeah.
I agree with you that the opening like 20 minutes or so, it's really funny, but it's also kind of hard to watch because he's so annoying.
And
his laugh is kind of, but I love the little jokes that he tells, or like the little half jokes underneath his breath kind of thing, because he tells jokes for himself. He doesn't care if
and he laughs at himself.
Yeah, he laughs at himself. So he'll tell a joke and then he'll just laugh at himself. He's like, I don't care if anybody else thinks it. In fact, one time he laughs for no reason.
Right.
It's like, what? He goes, sometimes I just think funny things.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think one of the hardest things for me is, like we were talking off air, is we've covered some movies, pretty old movies. And one that happened around this same time we discussed was Splash. Now, when you watch Splash, that movie holds up. We talked about how it holds up. It's still good. Yes, you can tell it's in the 80s because of the outfits, right?
Yeah.
But there was just something about this one. It was kind of hard to keep my attention, if that makes sense. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the first 20 minutes when he's just laughing. It kind of took me out of the movie. And that's being a movie fan, that's kind of hard for me to say because I like all movies. I've never paid for a movie and walked out of a movie theater. I've never watched something and turned it off. I always finish the movie to give it a chance. And I've seen some pretty bad movies, right? Some really, really bad stinkers. But I'm always going to finish the movie.
Yeah. It's one of the things I love about this podcast is we cover good movies and bad movies. We're not afraid to watch something and give our opinion on it. If we only watched the classics, then we would just look at the AFI top 100 movies and chip away at it.
Right.
But I love the fact that we cover all types of movies, all genres of movies. Some of them are good, some of them are stinkers, but we like them all because we enjoy the industry of movies.
And hey, I don't know if there's a movie that I hate because let's face it, this is somebody's craft. Dudley Moore, he does a fine job in this movie, but it was just not my cup of tea. But let's face the fact, he's gotten paid for it, right? It was a choice that he took in the role that he got paid for. I can't be mad at him for taking a role and getting paid for something like this.
He was nominated for an Academy Award.
Right.
For this movie.
Well, I mean, when you're going against what, Harrison Ford and Christopher Reeve and,
exactly.
Katharine Hepburn. I mean, so we will give him his just due desserts, whatever you want to call it. So
see, it's so funny because I'm kind of the opposite. Like where you were having trouble focusing and paying attention to the movie with those long, drawn out, drunken laughter scenes. Those are the only scenes I liked. It's like, I liked the fact that when he was out drinking with the prostitute or hanging out with Linda or just being silly, I thought those parts were funny. Any scene with the butler.
Yeah, that's
John
what I'm
Gielgud's character.
That's what I'm getting to. The part that I actually started to get something out of this movie is when he goes tells Lisa or Linda, hey, you need to be here at this engagement ceremony tonight. You need to be here. She's like, but I'm not invited. He said, I didn't say that. He said, just be at this party. But the part that really started to stick with you is when he's dying and he's in the bed and Arthur, he still comes in and he's feeding him stuff. He's bringing him presents. Hey, I got you this hat. Wear this hat, this cowboy hat or whatever.
So
remember,
like super silly stuff, like a train or something.
Right. He's like, is that a train? Yeah. So you can see Arthur is very affected by it. He doesn't want his friend because he is probably his only friend that he's had. So. And he's kind of like
Hobson
his nanny, his butler. And I think that's one way that Arthur was dealing with the grief that he was going through was to have fun with it. But that's when I actually started to like this movie. So,
yeah, like I said, any scene with Hobson, John Gielgud, I liked. I like when he woke up the next morning and he's got like he's got the prostitutes like sleeping next to him.
Oh yeah,
and John Gielgud just comes in with a tray, and Hobson's like, here's your aspirin, your orange juice, and all. He's like, I provided a ride for your friend, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, so
he's so even tempered. That's what I love about him. And he's the same thing. He's got those sarcastic little remarks under his breath all the time.
And I think that's hilarious. Probably where Arthur got some of them from.
Yeah.
If you look at it. But we're not going to pick this movie to par. We're going to talk about certain scenes as we go through this trivia, I'm sure, or if there's a scene you want to highlight, we'll talk about that, Bond. So let's talk a little bit about some trivia. So Do you remember when Liza Minnelli or Linda's character steals that thing and she's going to get on that bus, right?
Yeah, the tie. She stole the tie. Yeah.
So, and and she gets back off and tells Arthur, "Hey," he's like, "I'm not married." She's like, "What's your wife say?" He's like, "I'm not married." She gets off and gives him her phone number.
Oh yeah, I love that part.
Well, there's a part she was supposed to board a bus in front of Bergendorf's on Fifth Avenue, right? But a real bus came along and she boarded it thinking it was the quote movie bus.
That's awesome.
Not until she was halfway down the block did she realize her blunder when she looked back and saw the whole crew cracking up at her. Can you imagine?
She got on a real bus and started heading uptown.
How does she pay for the fare, right?
I don't know. She's Liza Minnelli. I mean, come on.
Right. Do you remember the famous Moose scene where Dudley Moore kept talking to Moose?
Yes. He shows up. He's like, "Where's the other half of this moose?"
Yeah. So Dudley Moore kept ad-libbing so much that Stephen Elliott got enraged at having to do so many takes. And he said, "Will you forget about the moose for now?" You could tell by Moore's reaction that it wasn't in the script. Director Stephen Gordon halted filming and begged Moore to play the scene straight. That's why Elliott's tone changed so suddenly.
That is so hilarious. He talks to that moose like 4 or 5 times. And it's just one after the other. But like I said, one of my favorite lines is, "Where's the other half of this moose?" You know what I'm saying? Or he'll look at the moose and make a comment. It's hilarious.
So, according to producer Charles Jaffe and Sir John Gielgud, quote, "He never really understood the jokes he was giving. According to Liza Minnelli, John kept turning to her and Dudley Moore asking if what he said or what he had just said was funny. After this movie came out, John wrote to journalist George Pitcher explaining that he was very bucked at the success of this movie. I thought Liza so very good and underestimated by the critics. Dudley screams too much at first, but gets better all through and is very charming and cooperative in the scenes with me. We also got on so wonderfully well together despite that appalling heat." So,
So he is kind of Dudley Moore's character. He does have like this little quirkiness to him. I mean, I guess he's like a cute little guy, so he's kind of charming in that way. Yeah. And then the $750 million doesn't hurt either, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he kept cracking the crew and the cast up so much that 27 takes were needed to get one scene filmed. I mean, that's a little overboard, man. I'd guess I'd be mad too.
Just ad-libbed?
I don't know. Probably like some of them.
Okay, come in here drunk, and then so he comes in there drunk and he makes comments about the moose. He makes comments about the restaurant. He makes, you know what I'm saying? When I was listening to it and watching the movie, a lot of them sounded like they were just ad-libbed. They didn't sound like they were scripted at all.
Yeah. I guess also during that moose scene that one of the lighting technician laughed so much that he fell off the ladder.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. What about the scene where Linda was with the horse in the barn, remember? And it's in there. I guess she kept breaking up from the horse, making funny sounds and trying to lick her. She most notably breaks when it's snorted and she laughs, but quickly recovers and finishes her lines. I mean, that would be hard to do.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I guess the writer and director Steve Gordon had originally wanted to cast George Segal in the lead role of Arthur. After the box office success of 10, however, in 1979, Dudley Moore replaced Segal. I guess Segal was also supposed to be the lead role in 10 too, but...
Wow, he kept losing out to Dudley Moore.
Yeah, but he basically walked off shortly after filming again. Reportedly, this was rumored because Julie Andrews' role had been built up. Apparently, after 10 had been released, Segal, who when once asked if he had seen the movie, allegedly replied with a finger gesture. I'll let you guess which one.
Exactly.
Not that you're number one, right? Oh, man. In Liza Minnelli's dressing room, Dudley Moore, an accomplished pianist, would play her piano. Sometimes Minnelli would sing along. Other times, Jill Elkenberry, who portrayed Arthur's fiancée, Susan Johnson, played. The film was so popular that when it was released onto video rental, yes, kids, we used to have to rent old VHS tapes and play them.
Tell me more about video rentals, Paul.
In 1982, that it stayed in the top 20 rental charts for almost 2 years, Bond. 2 years.
Oh my gosh. I was renting movies in 82, but I don't remember there being that much of a demand
for Arthur. I don't either. Okay, Bond, we're going to take a little rabbit hole here. Let me ask this question. Bond, when you were a young lad and you would go to Blockbuster or whatever, your Family Video, whatever store you were going to, did you ever just pick out a VHS tape to watch based upon the box art or the cover of the box?
Yes, I did. And that movie was terrible. It was a movie. I'll tell you what movie it was. It was a movie called Zombies. And it had like this guy's face. He was all corroded, looking at a worm crawling across his cheek. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so scary. I want to get this movie Zombies. And it was not good.
Are you saying we need to cover that?
We might have to.
Either that or Art
Toast needs to cover it.
Yeah, we'll have Art Toast cover it. You'll have to send me a cover of the box so I make sure we watch the right one, right?
The movie I remember when it comes to video rental is The Karate Kid. That movie was impossible to rent. It was sold out every Friday night for months.
So do you remember remember when Susan's, I guess it's his would-be father-in-law that he runs away from at the wedding, right? And he gets beat up. I guess he was still wearing his tattered costume and bloody makeup when he turned to his then girlfriend, Susan Anton, who was nearly 8.5 inches taller than him, in a Waldorf Astoria elevator and said, "Susan, I told you I'd be home. Why wouldn't you believe me?" The other elevator passengers were aghast. Like,
That's
she
awesome.
Probably beats him to death. Oh, man. In numerous scenes where Arthur and Hobson are both present, Arthur is always sober, and with only two exceptions in the hospital scene, Hobson speaks every comedic line. In every scene where Arthur is drunk, he speaks every comedic line, and Hobson is absent. So, this is Dudley Moore's only Oscar-nominated performance. All right, Bond, did you ever see Arthur 2 on the Rocks in 1988?
Man, I don't think I have. I know that I've seen like the movie poster, but I don't know if I've ever seen it. It's one of those movies where I think that if I started watching it, it would start falling in place. I'm like, okay, I remember this scene. So I might have. I'm not sure.
Right. So
you probably haven't, because you haven't seen this one, right? So you haven't seen Arthur 2 on the
Well,
Rocks.
I've seen it now. Hobson wasn't originally going to be English, as the producers wanted to cast a well-known older U.S. actor in the role. So Burt Lancaster turned down the role due to his busy schedule, and Gregory Peck felt he would be wrong for the role, man. I think Gregory Peck would have been great.
That's interesting.
But he did suggest James Mason or Peter Ustinov. So the scene where Arthur drives his race car around a track, remember he gets in the race car drunk, I think, was shot at the now defunct Danbury Fair Rock Arena in Connecticut. The type of car that Arthur drove was never raced there. It was primarily for modified stock cars and one of America's greatest short tracks. Sadly, despite its great success, the land became too valuable and it gave way to a shopping mall. The Danbury Fair Race Arena closed on October 12, 1981, shortly after the film was filmed.
Very interesting.
Oh, man. Bond,
Here's some. Okay, I got a list.
Yeah.
I got a list. Here's a list of people that could have played in this movie, right?
Let's do it.
So, think of the Dudley Moore's character.
Okay.
Right? Arthur. You give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, yes or no.
Well, they
Al
won't be able to see.
Pacino.
They won't be able to see my thumbs up, so I'll say yes.
That's okay.
or no.
I'll tell him. whether or not your thumbs up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, because he's
Oh, that's
crazy in
interesting.
everything he's in.
What
Can
about
you see
Jack
with that?
Nicholson?
Can you see him with that voice?
Oh, that would be great.
Hobson.
How about Jack Nicholson? Jack Nicholson as
Yes,
Arthur.
Yes.
I think that would have been a great movie, right?
Especially after seeing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
True. What about John Travolta?
I don't know if he could pull it off.
Yeah, like the drunkenness, right?
Yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss
Yep.
and James Caan.
That would be an interesting one. I just don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I thought this would have been a great idea. How about Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan Kenobi as Hobson?
These are not the horrors you're looking for. Hookers you're looking
That
for,
would
right?
have been awesome.
Maybe. But he was always peculiar about the roles he accepted too.
Okay. I think this would have been a great one. John Belushi as Arthur.
Probably.
Yeah, 'cause he would have been great in that movie.
Yeah.
You know. Now the role of Linda
anybody
role.
else.
Anybody else but Liza Minnelli. They could have thrown a stick in Hollywood. I think that these roles would have been great. Goldie Hawn would have been awesome.
Yeah, she would have been good.
Diane Keaton.
Yep.
You don't think Diane Keaton might be too tall?
Put him in stilts or something. Have him walk around in stilts.
He's only 5'2". Gilda Radner.
I think that would have been the perfect choice. Can you imagine her doing that and Gene Wilder being Arthur? Totally different movie, dude.
That would have been a great movie.
That would have been a great movie. Probably would have been one of my favorites of all time.
You'd have been I don't know. He was pretty good in Arthur. Oh, man. Yeah. So that's just some of the people up for this one. This movie got an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, Jimbo. So I don't know what you watched.
Well, you know what I watched. So here's a couple more people you missed. Deborah Winger for Linda. Yes, no?
Yeah, I think so. That'd be nice.
What about this one? Carrie Fisher.
Ooh. I think that would have been a great one.
I think it'd been good too.
Wait, so that would have been Carrie Fisher right after Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
So is that why they didn't get her in the movie, because she was too associated with the role Princess Leia?
Maybe that's why they didn't get Alec Guinness either.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there was also for Dudley Moore's character, you forgot Robert Redford. I think Robert Redford could have done it. No?
No.
Man, you're a hater tonight.
You gotta get somebody silly that's known for like their silliness, I think.
So this is kind of a weird coincidence. Each of the actors portraying parents in this movie, Geraldine Fitzgerald, Thomas Barbour, Barney Martin, and Stephen Elliott, all died in the same year in 2005.
It's the Arthur curse.
Shooting in New York City in the summer of 1980 drew thousands of onlookers. Well, that's probably why, because this was, let me think. If this was filmed in 1980,
yeah.
I wonder when Empire stopped refilming. I don't know. But thousands of onlookers curious about Liza Minnelli's new project. One of the older onlookers confused Minnelli for her mother, Judy Garland. Did you know Judy Garland was Liza Minnelli's mother?
Yeah, I knew that,
Okay.
but why would you confuse the two?
I have no idea.
They don't look or act anything alike.
Oh, man. There's a framed photo of Harry S. Truman on Arthur's father's desk. The other photo to the left of Harry S. Truman is that of Sir Winston Churchill, and it appears to be autographed. All right. Do you know what the two cassette tapes were that were near his bathtub? Do you know what they were?
Oh, no. That's a good little trivia.
Yeah, it is. How about Bob Marley and the Wailers and Randy Newman?
Randy Newman. That's hilarious. I love LA.
Oh, man. It did win 2 of its 4 Academy Awards in 1982, Bond. Did you go over all the awards?
Yeah, well, I went over those 2. I know it won for Best Original Score, right? The Best Original Song. And then it won for John Gielgud won for Best Supporting Actor.
But it didn't win anything else.
Dudley Moore was nominated for Best, right? For Best Actor, but he didn't win. It was also nominated for Best Screenplay. John Gielgud won the Best Supporting Actor role for the American Movie Awards. The ASCAP Film and Television Music Awards. The Arthur's Theme won Best Song. The Golden Globe Awards, it won Best Picture for a music or a comedy. Best Actor, Dudley Moore. Best Supporting Actor, John Gielgud. Best Original Song. And it was Liza Minnelli was nominated for Best Actress, but she didn't win. So it won a lot of awards.
Yeah, it did.
John Gielgud, he cleaned up. He won the New York Film Critics Award, the Los Angeles Film Critics Award. He took away about 5 or 6 trophies for this movie, this role.
Rightfully so.
Yep.
Apparently when this first movie was touted around, Dudley Moore was telling people that the movie was about King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh, that's awesome.
After Linda first meets Arthur, she says that he looks like one of Santa's little helpers. Dudley Moore played the part of Patch, one of Santa's elves in Santa Claus in 1985. Do you know who Tuesday Weld is?
I've heard the name. Yeah, Tuesday Weld.
But she was supposed to be the original role of Linda, but turned it down. Here you go, Bond. Are you ready? Well, this is a sad. Liza Minnelli had only just finished filming all of her scenes when she found out her ex-boyfriend and actor Peter Sellers had died. Co-star Dudley Moore had appeared in The Wrong Box in 1966 with Sellers and was quick to phone her to offer his condolences. So, Gene Wilder was almost offered the lead role at one point, but having recently completed filming on Stir Crazy in 1980, a few months before, his agent said Wilder was exhausted and wanted to take a year off to relax. We almost had it, Bond.
We almost had it.
Almost.
If Gilda would have just said, "Come on, honey, let's do it together."
Oh, he would have been there. I'm not that exhausted,
you
right?
would have had it.
Oh, that would have been great.
Okay, so I'm looking at Arthur 2 on the Rocks, and it says here that John Gielgud reprised his role. How? How does he reprise it? Flashback scenes, maybe?
Maybe.
But it's a 1988 movie, so John Gielgud was already like an older man in 81.
Is he playing the same part?
I'm assuming so. It says the film followed by a sequel at 88's Arthur 2 on the Rocks. Lead players Moore, Liza Minnelli, and John Gielgud reprised their roles.
I guess that sounds like a summer of sequel.
Here's
a couple more people I found for Linda. How about Mia Farrow?
Yeah, I think so. She's kind of got that build, that same little
Farrah Fawcett.
local girl. Maybe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Barbara Hershey. I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Jessica Lange. I know Brett from Evil Never Dies.
But Liza.
Brett from Evil Never Dies would definitely agree with that one, right? How about Bette Midler?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I take it back. I could not watch this movie if Bette Midler
I'm going to make
played
you watch
the love interest.
I'm going to make you watch Big Business, and we're going to cover it. That's where Bette Midler plays twins, and so does Lily Tomlin.
But she's not the love interest of the story.
Susan Sarandon.
Okay.
Sybil Shepherd.
Okay.
Meryl Streep.
No.
No.
Meryl Streep could have pulled it off, but I don't know.
What about for Arthur? Chevy Chase.
Yeah. I
Jeff
can see him playing a
Bridges.
drunk. Jeff Bridges, yeah.
Steve Martin.
Yeah, he'd have a harder time playing the millionaire than he would the drunk.
Bill Murray.
Yep, same thing, same
How
situation.
about Sylvester Stallone?
That would have been awesome. Okay. In an alternate universe, Sylvester Stallone
And Bette Midler.
and Bette Midler star in Arthur.
And then how about Robin Williams? I think Robin Williams probably would have knocked it out of the park. Definitely.
Great. Yeah, sure.
Eric Idle and John Cleese of, the old Monty Python were considered for the role of Arthur as well. The wedding scene is shot at St. Bart's Episcopal Cathedral on Park Avenue, south of Central Park. The closing shot of the film was nearby on Park Avenue. Bond, you ever been to New York City?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I've been
trip.
between the moon and New York City.
No, you haven't. You got to be in New York City, be between the moon and New York City, right? Oh, here's another one. Kim Basinger for Linda.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, Bond, did you notice that the yellow roses Arthur considers have several meanings? To a Texas native, it's a symbol of regional pride and happiness. Otherwise, it might mean friendship or a sign that the person wants to leave the relationship. She's the yellow rose of Texas. Charles Grodin was considered for the role of Arthur. Burt Reynolds and Tom Selleck were, I guess, everybody that was a movie star back then.
That's what I'm saying. They just threw it out there and they're like, but okay, so they chose Dudley Moore, even though he has an English accent, but nobody else in his family has an English accent. I mean, did he pick it up from his butler?
He had to have, man. He had to have. All right, Bond. Let me see one more thing before we go on to this. But did you ever see any more of Dudley Moore's movies?
Yeah, I've seen Mickey and Maude before. It's really good. I've seen 10. That's a good movie.
Yeah,
With, Bo Derek,
I was
right?
gonna say that's the only reason it's a good movie is because of Bo Derek. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. That's one of the covers on the VHS you would have picked up and been like, I want this one.
Yeah, and as a preteen, my mom and dad would have said,
like,
nope, pick something else. And of course, I've seen Foul Play. Foul Play is one of my favorite like 80s comedies, late 70s, early 80s comedies.
All right, Bond, it's that time. We're going to let you give us your reviews, your final thoughts, your prop piece, your rating.
All right, here we go, man. First off, before I start, there was an animated show called The Critic starring John Lovitz.
Saw it, yeah.
Okay. There's an episode called Eyes on the Prize, which shows a parody of Arthur called Arthur 3, Revenge of the Liver, which I thought was pretty cool. Okay, so we hit the nail on the head earlier, Jimbo, when we said some movies translate over time and some do not. This movie struggles to keep up. I mean, this movie's 45 years old now?
Mm-hmm.
So 45 years later, this movie, I don't know, there's something missing from it. I don't know if it's like there's no charm to it. There's something missing where it's not a bad movie, but I don't know, there's just something missing. I'm giving this movie like a 7, which I know probably be pretty high for you. I'm thinking 6.57. I'm not a Liza Minnelli fan. I really think she brings it down. I've never thought she was a good actress. And so she kind of brings it down for me. I thought Dudley Moore at times was annoying. Probably not as much as you did, but I love the little quips and the little jokes and the little inside jokes and the little under your breath jokes in this one. To me, that's what makes this movie great, was just that. It does have a great message to it. Love versus money idea. So I thought that was pretty amazing. I'm glad I watched it again. Would I go out and recommend this movie to others? Probably not. There's other better romantic comedies from the 80s you can pick. But I don't think I'd recommend this movie. But I'm kind of glad I went back after 40 years and watched it again. I'm gonna say my overall rating is a 6.5, Jimbo.
Oh, you keep going lower
Yeah.
as you keep talking about it, right?
Only because there's so many scenes where I'm like, I'm just gonna fast forward through this. I'm just gonna fast forward through this. The whole anything having to do with Susan, to me, was just a waste of film. It doesn't do anything to me. My prop piece, I want that big bathtub.
That's on the cover of the box, right?
Yes, the super big bathtub that holds like 4 people. I like that big bathtub. You know why? Because his bed was like attached to the bathtub.
It's so wild, dude. That room is so wild.
Yeah, he's got like a king size bed like attached to the side of his bathtub, which I thought was pretty cool.
By the way, there's a couple of nicknames that Dudley Moore had. One was Cuddly Dudley, and the other one was the sex thimble.
Yeah.
Thimble. Sex
Nice.
thimble.
The sex thimble.
All right. So, we review these movies and we want to find the good in it. We want to find, if it's a bad movie, everybody has their opinion to whatever they want to think about this movie. And that's fine. We're fine with whatever you want to think, but everybody has opinions. And that's why we do this podcast, to give our opinions. You don't have to agree. You don't have to disagree. You could do whatever you want. So for me, like I said, the beginning of this movie, it took me out. And when you take me out of a movie, it's hard to get my interest back. It took them till when the butler is dying to bring me back in. And that's probably over almost halfway through the movie, if not even further than halfway through the movie. And yes, is there a lesson here? Yes, there's a lesson here, because I thought it was pretty funny when his mother or his grandma, I think it's his grandma, right?
I think it's his grandmother.
Yeah, when she sees at the end after Liza Minnelli and him are on the stage after he had walked out of the wedding, he's gotten beat up and he's sitting there and he's like, look, I don't care about the money. I love you. I want to be with you. And if they can't see how perfect you are, blah, 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 that's on them. And then his grandma's like, oh, Arthur, you want the money? You can have the money. He's like, no, I don't want the money. Right. And she's like, Arthur, take the money. And he's like, I'm not taking it. And they walk, he's like, Arthur, what are you going to eat? He's like, will you fix me whatever it was? We already asked, I forgot what he said. She's like, yeah, I can fix that for you. And his grandmother is basically is running out after them out of the church. Arthur, take this money. This is the last opportunity you're ever going to get, Arthur, to get this money. And so he's like, would you excuse me a moment? And he goes back over there and he walks back and she said, well, what'd you tell her? He said, I told her I'm not taking the money, that we're going to go home and eat. We won't go out to eat with her or whatever. And they get in the car and he's like, but I took the money. I'm not an idiot. Right?
Yeah. No Bach has ever been working class.
To me, if they would have just cut you knew he was an over the top alcoholic. It just drug out for far too long. I think the scenes with Susan, I think, were needed. Maybe even needed some more of that interaction to see. What I would have really liked to seen is Susan's father, how he was handling it with Susan. I wonder what he thought of Arthur, before this. You didn't get that dynamic until like almost the end of the movie. Like, it was really weird, but I think if they would have switched some stuff around, did some different scenes, added to the story here, taken away from the story here, I think it would have gelled a lot better. So for me, I'm probably going to give this a 5.5. Like I said, I don't know if I would recommend it to anybody, and I love cinema, but I would say watch it at least once, form your own opinion about it, because everybody has things they like and everybody has things they don't like. Let us know what you think. For me, I think it was over the top. It was kind of a hard watch, if you will. Sometimes you come across those movies, it's a hard watch, but you know what? We finish it through and we watch the whole thing just to make sure we give it our due diligence and we give it a fair shot. Now, my prop piece, Bond, is I want that top hat that he had. That top hat was fantastic.
That was sharp.
It was sharp. So yeah, there you have it. The Arthur movie starring Dudley Moore. Well, Bond, where can they find us on the social medias, Bond? Hey, by the way, before you start talking, let me throw this out there. We have just exploded into Vietnam. I don't know why, but thank you guys for listening. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised this week when the downloads in Vietnam are just rolling in by the hundreds in different cities. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So make sure you keep telling your friends, your family, download everything.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
And if you'd reach out to us, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. Tell us how you found us, what you like about us. If you want to come on the show, Bond said that one time because I didn't think he was real either, but look now he's the co-host. But if you'd like to come on, we'll set up a Zoom time with you to cover a movie with you guys if you want. Just reach out to us. All right, Bond.
All right, man. Yeah, of course. Reach out to us. Go to Facebook at The Tragedy of Cinema. Like Jimbo was saying, just email us at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. Both of those things will work. We'll read your email on the air as long as it's nice.
And I'll make Bond pronounce your name because I want to be respectful and don't want to slaughter it. And Bond's from the Philippines.
What? I am not from the Philippines.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm Japanese.
Japanese, Philippines. Close. I thought
I'm
you said
a Pacific
you were from the
Islander.
Philippines.
That's crazy.
Well, now I got to relook at your resume.
You're all, well, thanks for hosting the It's a shame we have to let you go.
Thanks. We have to get another co-host now. No, I'm kidding, Bond. You know I love you.
Oh, great. You know me. I'm stuck between the moon and New York City over here, man.
You're stuck between the moon and Houston City, or where is it? What? Corpus Christi?
I'm over here in Corpus Christi, man.
Okay.
South.
See,
Texas.
I don't even know my co-host that well. But
hello, my name's Bond. Nice to meet you.
Oh, he is real.
Yeah.
And be on the lookout because we are going to start dropping our summer sequel series pretty soon. We're getting pretty excited. We got some really cool ones. And
oh, man,
of course,
I can't wait.
All right, Bond, it's just so the listeners know. We let Bond pick out a couple movies for the summer sequels. So, Bond, I'm going to ask you this question. Which movie did you like better, Arthur or Meatballs 2?
Oh, there's no question. One of them is a terrible movie with a script that doesn't even match the title. It's hard to watch. It's painful.
It's got an alien that's high.
Yeah, and the other one's got Liza Minnelli. So I'm just telling you, it's a tough one. No,
that's that would be a battle of the century right there. Arthur versus Meatballs 2.
The alien from Meatballs 2. Oh my goodness. Spoiler, there's an alien in Meatballs 2.
Which one are you taking? Which one's better?
I would rather watch Meatballs 2 again.
That's saying a lot, isn't it?
Well,
and you know what?
I'm being
I
truthful.
think I would too.
There you go, man.
But
I can't wait for the summer of sequels. It's going to be so much fun. We got some good movies lined up.
And we got some not so good movies too. So, but with that being said, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer.